All right, guys. I guess I could do a horizontal. Let's just do a horizontal. Rotation is locked. Rotate device back. Okay. All right. Let's just rotate this back. As you can see, this is not a professional video, but anyway, I am going to turn off the air conditioning system to avoid some background noise. And forgive me if you do hear some traffic noise. By the way, Chef John from Grab and Go, and I wanted to do this, and I can't stress it out enough that a lot of you guys who get into the food truck business fail. You do fail. You just end up parking it somewhere, and then you know you just make no money. I'm inside the food truck, so the video is going to be kind of shaky. What I want to tell you is that a food truck is a restaurant. Okay. First thing you need to know when you open up a food truck is to make sure that what it is that you are selling is what it is that you are selling. Okay? Just say you want to do fruits. A lot of Hispanics, they do fruits. You can see they do fruits on the side of the road. They don't need a food truck to do fruits. But legally, you can't sell food outside under a tent. Can't sell anything that is consumable to the human body. Okay, guys? I'm really doing this slow so you can actually absorb this. Because if you got $40,000 that you saved up and you feel like you want the freedom to be your own boss, it's a good feeling. But if you go out and spend 40 grand and lose the money, you might lose a husband. It might cause a divorce. Believe me. Trust me. I'm talking from experience. Um, I've always invested in my own businesses myself. And hey, lo and behold, if the business takes off, you will have a great partner. Trust me, because when it's time to make money, it's joy. Okay, let's get started. I've had a few videos where I somewhat explain what a commissary is. A commissary is enough space to store your food. How's that? Gosh, I thought I lost this belly. Gosh, I stopped the beer, guys. Anyway, a commissary is enough space to store your food. What is enough space? Check this out. Okay, I'm not gonna get you into the cubic inches, the measurements of what a refrigerator should be, or even what a freezer should be, right? Okay. I designed this food truck myself, being an HVAC technician, and I needed to. I mean, I knew exactly what I was looking for: the CFMs, the air conditioning. Living in Florida is not a joke inside of a food truck. July, August, September, no. You got to have ventilation and you got to have good electricity. What is good electricity? Let's get into that. 30 amps. I got 60 amps in here. The amperage actually is, I would say, the amperage is your horsepower. Okay. I got enough horsepower in here to run, I would say, two bun juicers, an ice cream freezer, which I use for sodas. Okay. This is another tip I'm giving you guys. An ice cream freezer that I use for sodas. Okay. Don't use a refrigerator for sodas. Your customers will thank you, believe me. The ice cream freezer is probably between freezing and cooling. It won't freeze the soda. It'll make it nice and cold. You will, and I promise you get compliments every time. Um, Simple things. Well, during COVID, we had the little intercom. Well, they stopped killing people, so we got rid of that. You can have yourself a warmer, but back to the commissary part, the inspector will tell you you need a commissary. You don't need a commissary. The only thing you might need a commissary for is to dump your gray water and your used oil that you fry with. You can store that yourself in a drum somewhere and you can sell that. Because today, with the gas prices right now, believe me, these guys are making biodiesel with it. Take my advice. What is your plan if you got the money to get your food truck going? Are you going to get one built? If you are, I suggest you do what is called a self-sufficient, okay? A self-sufficient, get a self-sufficient food truck so you can store your stuff. So that way you don't have to pay a commissary to store your stuff. Now, here's the whole idea. The whole concept is that you do a food truck. Most people don't have a $80,000 budget, right? So you go out and spend 15 grand on a small truck. Now you got to use a commissary. It's the same thing. You're losing money in the commissary because the commissary can cost you between a thousand a month if you got a lot going, because you got to cook there, you got to store it, and then you got to prove receipts. If you get inspected, you got to prove the receipts, and then you got to go back there, give them free oil. You're gonna give them free oil. Melissa, hi. Well, I'm just talking about, commissaries. Don't be quick to go waste your time on commissaries because commissaries make money. They make money because they give you space. They give you refrigeration space. They give you, you can wash your truck and all that. You can wash your truck somewhere else. Right now, used vegetable oil is being used to make biodiesel. Okay. You might want to think about that. Put it on Facebook. These companies will come. I mean, if you have enough of it, you can put it in a drum. Just make sure you don't make a mess. Don't violate the rules. As far as the gray water, you don't have to have a commissary to dump the gray water, okay? You don't. You can do like a RV park. You dump the gray water. You could even do, in some states, you can do your own commissary. The only thing is you have to have a filter, which is in a 3-compartment filter that has a grease trap or separator. So a lot of people think grease trap is where you dump the grease. No, grease trap is not where you dump the grease. Grease trap is where when you wash your dishes, the water itself gets separated from the oil that's coming from the dishes. Oh gosh, okay, you got a septic tank at home. What's the difference, right? There it is. There's something called self-sufficient. Okay. Self-sufficient means that the food truck is big enough to be self-sufficient, meaning that you can cook raw food inside the food truck. Now the rules that you got to have your serve safe certificate. You can't have a serve safe certificate that's like a food handler's certificate. You got to have the what do you call it? The master's food handler certificate. Okay. So that way you can have people work under you. If someone is actually on the cashier, that person has to have certification also. But it's not the same test. It's like $24. Your test is like, I think it's, if you're going to be the master chef or whatever it is, you got to have knowledge in food handling, bacteria, temperature, and so on. So today, I want to make this video and see to it that if you've saved up enough money to do a to buy a food truck or to build your own food truck, the do's and the don'ts. First of all, I mean, I'm pretty sure you've watched 1,000 videos that confused you. Okay, I'm just going to break it down to you. What is it that you like to do, or what is it that you know how to do? You like fruits? Do a fruit truck. You like donuts? Do a donut truck. You like to cook? Do a food truck, full food truck. For instance, I don't have the camera somewhat. You can see the stoves. I got a flat grill. I got a charboil grill. I got a stove, and I got a deep fryer with 4 baskets. Okay, so I'm ready to do. In the back of this camera, I got 2 bun slushy machines, along with, like I showed you before, with an ice cream machine. I mean, an ice cream freezer, cash register, large commercial refrigerator, and freezer. Where's my drink? Okay, so you just gotta make up your mind. I mean, do you know even how to make up your mind? I don't know. If you if you're confused, just leave me a comment. I mean, subscribe and support the channel. It's not going to cost you anything. If you need to know load calculation, how much electricity you need to use, you need a generator. The minimum you would need is 220 at 30 amps. I got 15,000 at 60 amps, simply because I built it myself. I didn't build the truck, but I designed the truck. I told the guys, look, this is what I need. I got 2 um, um, 2 air conditioners on top. I'm not going to mention the names. Well, Domestics. The 2 Domestics on top, they're pretty good. If you do the load calculation on those, they're probably around 1,000. Probably 1,000 BTUs, which is what 12,000 BTUs, which is like around 400 CFMs, I think. But I got a hood. I don't know if you can see the hood. It's a 13-foot hood, and then the suppression system. So you need a hot water system and everything else. I mean, I customized this thing. I got TV in here and everything else. Made my own shelves but what is it that most people say I want to build a taco truck. There's no such thing as a taco truck, because if you build a taco truck, the only thing you're probably going to have is you're going to make your tacos at home and pretend to put them on the flat grill, thinking the inspectors are going to be fooled. Can't do that. Got to have sanitation. You need the 3 sinks. You need to have another sink, which is 4 sinks, in case, like a hand wash, eye flush. I mean, I went all the way. I got irrigation in here, storage. The only mistake that I made, and I am going to confess to this, and I didn't make the mistake, but when I designed the truck, the guys that build the truck, I'm not going to call the company out. It's in Orlando. They gave me a sink. It's in the back of me. That sink is like a wooden cabinet. That was the only mistake that I made. And the plumbing sucks. I had to redo the plumbing. Okay? If you guys have any questions about what type of food truck you want to build, hey, ask me a question. I'm here for you. Subscribe, Help the channel. Let's go for it. Who do we got here? Daniel Cormier. Somebody told me I look like Daniel Cormier, which is the wrestler slash kickboxer. Do I look like him? Seriously, my attorney said that I look like Daniel Cormier. Talk to me, guys. He says to me, I walked in his office. He says, gosh, you look like Daniel Cormier. Here's what I do on this food truck. I make a nice soursop slushy, watermelon slushy. We do chicken tenders, we do burgers. And if we go to a Caribbean event, we would do like jerk chicken. We would do like conch, red snapper, and everything else. I mean, we can pretty much do anything from the West. We don't do Chinese food, Greek food, and all that. But anyway, I'm pretty sure right now you got an idea that you're gonna make. You're gonna buy a food truck. Either you're gonna design one or you are going to buy one. Let me know what it is that you need to know, and then the mistakes that I've made, and I will guarantee you, I will tell you that these are the mistakes that I made, and I will make sure that you don't make those mistakes. How about that? So you know, really, you know Daniel Cormier. All right, man, Daniel Cormier. Come on, man. Daniel Cormier, please subscribe to this channel. I did Shotokan. I did Shotokan. And gosh, I can't impersonate the guy, can I? Well, I could just do a Daniel Cormier impersonation. I actually I think I tweeted him when my attorney says, well, man, you need to look up Daniel Cormier. And then he says, I say, hey, man, you and I, who looks better? He says, no, sir, you look much better than I. Seriously, I did get in touch with Daniel Cormier. Gosh, I'm not a fighter. Oh, my God. I can see me fighting him. Yeah, people say, well, you look like him. I mean, if I back up, can I do the seriously, I mean, people say that. You funny. That is what? So wear shades and get 3 bodyguards and keep fans from getting too close. Damn, you guys just changed the subject. Oh my God. Am I in the wrong business? Gotta use the gut. I gotta lose the gut. I've been working on it. Is he still fighting, by the way? I sound like him? I gotta talk to my father. Oh shit. I sound like him? Let's get this guy on the show, guys. No, I'm serious. Daniel Cormier. The Daniel Cormier food truck. What the hell? Got a nice little ginger tea going on because I've been losing my voice. Really, I sound like him. Is this my way to the phone shaking? Well, he's known for his gut to get bigger. Is I got it. Whoa! It's been a few years since I looked him up. So his gut has gotten bigger than mine. I can suppress it a little bit. Really? All right, Daniel Cormier, this is your chance to get famous. Get on board with the restaurant geeks here. Okay? Oh, really? That was a moment. I mean, I actually walked into my attorney's office. I was going through some child support issues, and then he says, "Oh my God, you look like Daniel Cormier." Daniel Cormier. I'm like, who even is that? And I looked him up. I contacted the guy. He did contact me. I said, "Well, Mr. Cormier, my attorney says you look better than I." We kind of, joked around. He says, "No, sir, you look much better." How is he doing? Is he even fighting? That kind of fighting, I just can't. I cannot. I don't see myself hitting somebody, but for money, I don't know. To each his own. I guess these guys that make a few millions, and I don't know. I'm not. I'm just not that. But yeah, people say I look like him. I would walk into a mall. I would walk into some kind of a public event, and people they just I'm like, what the hell? Why am I being scoped? Seriously, my wife be like, I don't know. I mean, you're from New York actually, but you live in Florida. People look at me like, you know how you get that second look? That's me. Wow, guilty by what? Association? Oh, he's retired. Okay, he's retired now. I mean, how much of that stuff can you go through? Like Tyson, look at Tyson. I knew Tyson when he was a kid. I mean, well, not he was a kid. I knew Tyson in Brownsville, Brooklyn. He used to love pigeons. I actually know him, met him. Tyson like a regular street, not what I can't say street, but Tyson is like your regular person that you would meet at the mall, and then very non-violent individual. But anyway, how much of this fighting can a person? I mean, what is the average? How many years can an MMA fighter fight and retire? Like what? 4 times? Maybe 5 years? But I don't know. Daniel Cormier, let's do a food show together now that you retired. This is great, guys. I had no idea this was coming. Nope, didn't. But anyway, I don't know. But anyone of you guys, like, this is the best time to get into food trucks. Honestly, I'm not gonna do some honest. I mean, I'm not gonna do some fancy video and sell you something. I'm not getting nothing out of this. Like on my spare time, I would somewhat educate with my HVAC and mechanical experience, electrical experience. If you guys want to get into the food truck business, I want you guys to do this and do it right. I don't want you guys to go out and make a mistake thinking that you thought just because you know how to cook, you can own a food truck. No, it doesn't work that way. Knowing how to cook is a plus. Having the business experience is another plus. Okay. Um, you got to worry about things that breaks down, like that refrigerator back here, the one that I'm getting the ginger tea out of. This thing went bad. It's a it's a Dukers. Now remember Dukers. A lot of these refrigerators and a lot of these HVAC equipment, they're like another brand of another brand. Okay, Carrier is a brand of Bryant. Lennon is a brand of, wow, what's the other one? Goodman is a. Put it this way, it's all made in Mexico right now. So the fan went bad in this one. I got this one on a timer. This is another thing that you might want to consider. If you have a food truck, don't leave your refrigerator running. A lot of times these thermostats are not accurate. Okay, so I have it on a timer. It would be like, for instance, I would do 8 hours on and the rest is off. I would do four on and the rest is off. These are the things that you learn from experience. Okay, well, let's get into gas. Deep fryers. The most dangerous part of a food truck is gas. Want to talk about that? Ask me some questions. Longer than boxers, BC, they don't hard spar anymore. They don't? Oh, I always thought this stuff was deadly. Jesus Christ. I mean, these guys sitting there, they pummel on each other like, wow, like, Jesus. A tooth costs what, 3 grand? And then your brain costs what? Your life? Look at Tyson, man. Tyson is like, it's over. Tyson's young. Tyson's from he's from Brownsville, Brooklyn. You know, he had his issues with, my goodness, that was so unfair, but money, I don't know. If I had a choice not to have money, I wouldn't have it. Money is just evil. I mean, Jesus. But Tyson had he had a good career. I mean, I worked in Manhattan when I was a kid, and the kid he would fight. I mean, I'd buy a ticket to go see Tyson. Before I got to the door, the fight was over. I lived in Cypress Hills, Brooklyn. He'd come around. Had a Puerto Rican friend named Jesus. For you guys that knew Tyson, this is not a lie. But and when I look at Tyson today, man, it's like, wow, was it worth it? Jesus. Anyway, guys, can we talk food truck? Anybody with a food truck idea, talk to me. I would like to see to it that you don't make that mistake that I didn't. I don't think I made a mistake, but I did. I made a few mistakes, temperature wise, structure wise, rodents, bugs. We can talk about bugs. Let's talk about gas, ventilation. You got any questions? Let me know. Why don't if you want to do boxing and MMA, why don't you guys wear the the Abbott and Costello mask? I mean, your face, your teeth, your eyes. I mean, that's all you got. Jeez, I mean, I couldn't do it. I couldn't fight. I couldn't. I don't see myself hurting somebody. Then you shake hands and I just don't see it. It's not me. I'm a lover, not a fighter. Cormier may look like me. I don't know, man. We might have to do a DNA thing. The guy does look like. I looked at him like, whoa. But I can't. I can't do the box. I can't. I just can't do the boxing thing. All right, get in touch with Cormier. Have him call me. Let's get him into the food business. You see, if you notice, Shaquille got into. He's gotten into dominoes and everything else. Let's get. Let's get. let's get Daniel Cormier in the food truck business. How's that? I want you guys, all of you guys, can go ahead and contact this guy. Your twin brother, which contact. Well, I think I contacted him. My divorce years, 2014, I contacted, well, your brother's ready to do a food show with you. How's that? Let's get on the road, guys. You guys subscribe. Come on. Give me a thumbs up. This thing ended up being something else. So I'm here to talk about food trucks and safety, regulations, serve safe. It ended up being a boxing match. Let's do it. But the top of the conversation was, if you are getting into the food, right now I'm standing inside of a 26-foot food truck, plus the tongue. If I would say the tongue is about 6 feet, so you do the math. Right? This thing can serve with two people that's willing to work 500 to 1,000 a day. How's that? Fair enough? 500 to 1,000 a day. I would put the beef patties in here. The fridge just actually turned on. I'm going to turn it off. Lord Jesus, if I forget to turn this thing back on, my wife is going to have my butt. You need a microwave. Okay, let's do this. All right, let's go back to the subject, guys. Microwave. It's going to be a commercial microwave. These hot pots, as far as the ones you put the water in, they call them steam pans. Okay, a deep fryer. A gas deep fryer, you don't buy it. Well, an electric deep fryer won't work for you because the amperage will be too high. Like if you go to these Kentucky Fried Chickens and stuff, they'll have, these electric deep fryers, which is like maintenance, somewhat maintenance free. But the only problem I find with the gas deep fryers, they start to clog right at the burners. And then you would notice that black soot going up to your filters. So the thing to do is you get a hose and clean that out, because there's a honeycomb inside the deep fryers. You can take them off. It's like a 1/2 inch wrench, and then rinse that out and you'll be fine. You don't have to call a technician. You might have to change a thermostat or a thermistor from time to time, but otherwise, the only thing I don't like about this food truck, I got this American range. When you light it at the bottom, and if there's grease, like a grease deposits at the bottom, or if you hold the button too long, you get a poof. And then if there's grease at the bottom, there's a plate. That plate, it collects the grease and it can create a fire. You got to stay calm. Whenever you get a small fire, guys, this is serious. Don't run out of the truck. You got to stay calm and put the fire out. What is my method? Sometimes, going back to the deep fryer, sometimes these deep fryers, okay? Listen, guys, I'm serious. This is serious stuff, okay? Let's forget about the boxing thing. The deep fryer is at 350. Okay, ambient 95 degrees outside. Welcome to Florida, right? And if you notice that the deep fryer, just because you got lazy, you didn't clean it out last night, it starts to boil over. Let me tell you something. You ever seen a volcano? If you're on television, that thing would scare the bejesus out of you because you were careless. Now, how do you calm it down? I'm going to tell you how you calm it down. Just leave me a comment. This thing will boil over to the point where it will actually catch on fire. What do? The secret is go in the fridge, get you a bag of fries, even though you need it or not, cool it down. Once you cool it down, don't fry at 400. I don't even fry at 350, but you got to know your temperatures. That's the reason why you have to take your serve safe and understand temperatures. You start frying at 350. I don't fry at 350. I fry at 300, but you got to know ambient. You got to know temperature on the outside because it affects the inside. There's something called R value and U value in HVAC. Whatever outside is, it affects inside. Make sense? Seriously. If it's 100 degrees outside, why are you frying at 350? Everybody's got this. Oh my God, I'm frying at 350. You're frying at, what are you frying at 350? You don't have to fry at 350. You can fry at 300. You can fry at lower than that. And it also has to do with humidity. The humidity have a lot to do with the way you cook. That's why you got to take the serve safe and under. Okay, if I had a question for you right now, what is the temperature that water actually freezes? What would you tell me? Water freezes at what? Okay, water freezes at 32 degrees. Okay, if I had lettuce in the refrigerator, what would it take for that lettuce not to freeze? So those things you have to, it's a beautiful trade. If you could do HVAC slash culinary, you would be a beautiful person to the world. You would understand pathogens, you would understand disease, you would understand things like what makes people sick, how to store food, refrigeration, freezing temperatures, on and on and on. It's a beautiful trade. So I'm open to any questions about if you have an idea to open up a. I've seen food trucks, my goodness, that I can't even describe. That are so nasty, and they give the name Roach Coach. They give that name Roach Coach a title. Seriously, they do. Roach Coach is like a title, especially back in the '90s. But my videos can get more professional if you guys, any guys in the food truck world that are curious. I'm going. I mean, I'll give you genuine information. None of this YouTube, this fake stuff. I mean, this is from mechanical, electrical. If you want to build a food truck, as far as your electrical, what to do, your load calculation, the understanding, refrigeration, and everything else. So I'm gonna end this live. Hopefully, I'll get a few bites off this one, and we go from there, guys. Chef John Grab and Go Concessions. Let me know. Leave a like, love a like, subscribe. It costs you nothing. Leave some comments, and I promise I will get back with you. Over and out.